Our next speaker, we have a real treat for you. We have Mr. Gordon Fairweather to speak to us. Mr. Fairweather was the first Chief Commissioner of the Canadian Human Rights Commission and held that position for 10 years. He was the founding chair of Canada's new Immigration and Refugee Board and remained in that position from 1987 to 1992. Mr. Fairweather served in the New Brunswick legislature from 1952 to 62, from 1958 to 1960, and from 1958 to 1960, he was Attorney General, sorry. In 1962, he was elected to the House of Commons, representing the riding of Fundy Royal until 1977. He has been an official observer of elections in Zimbabwe, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Malaysia. He led the Canadian delegation to the United Nations Human Rights Commission meetings in Geneva on 3 occasions. Mr. Fairweather is an officer of the Order of Canada. He has also received the Federal Government Outstanding Achievement Award, the New Brunswick Humanitarian Award, the New Brunswick Division of the Canadian Red Cross Society Humanitarian Award, and has 7 honorary degrees, and probably counting, from Canadian universities. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Fairweather.
Whoever organized this is smart enough to feed you first. That reminds me of my days in elected politics. We always fed. But I'm here to support the University of New Brunswick in St. John, the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton, and the community college, obviously. Yet we should focus on what the issue is not about, and that is comparing apples and oranges. That's such an old cliche I hesitate to give students because they'll think I'm an old fool, which I probably am. But those who insist on mixing apples and oranges would be better advised to put them in a fruit salad. UNBSJ is not about fruit salad, neither is the community college. If the recommendations of this report are implemented, they would result in irreparable harm to our university and its campuses, both in Fredericton and St. John. It's so obvious, and Jim Tuck has just explained it to us. Also, as he mentioned, it will gravely harm the Université de Moncton. Now, as I stand here today, and I don't think I need to be forgiven for this, I think of Louis J. Robichaud, and I think of Colin Mackay. University builders of the 1960s. I think too, and I'm glad it has been mentioned, of the Common Council of the City of St. John, which from the get-go has been so supportive. One of the joys, of course, of having this campus here and near at hand is the professors, the TAs, the students, and the support staff. St. John is a better place in which to live because of UNB St. John. You'll be glad to know I have 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But I want to turn to Dr. Miner because last week he told the Globe and Mail that he's frustrated by how quickly opponents, that's his word, made up their minds about the report. And he went on to say, and I will quote him, the report, I do not believe that in any form New Brunswick has an institution that can stand on its own at the national level. That's not meant, he said, to sound critical. Where did he go to school? It's meant to reflect reality, and those also were his words. First, he complains about the speed with which his opponents made up their minds. Then he gives us ample excuse for our doing so, just by his insulting and dismissal announcing that New Brunswick has no institution that can stand on its own at the national level. That's bullshit. And bullshit, by the way, is politically correct these days. Do you not share I guess you do share my opinion, but this is a very odd statement coming as it does from the co-chair of a commission designed to make recommendations for an extreme makeover of New Brunswick's system of higher education. It's bizarre. Well, I find his negativity and his insult to be totally unacceptable. And finally, I just have a bow, or I don't know where, no, not quite a bow, but where are the silent ministers? There are 5 ministers in the Greater St. John area. I won't list them. No, but they haven't said boo. I mean, this is absolutely extraordinary. Oh, thank you. It's great to have help from the. I like it better here than I did on the hustings, though. Finally, as I say, they're the silent, mute cabinet ministers. They were hailed in the morning paper, the Telegraph Journal, as being almost saviors of the city just a year ago. I haven't heard a word from any one of them since since this report. And I was in public life one way or another for 40 years, and you don't mind me saying, this is really quite unacceptable for the people that are supposed to be they should be right here now, actually. And as you can see, we would have fed them gladly. But friends, we cannot allow this to happen. It's up to us to make certain it doesn't. And thank you for letting an old goat out of the stable.